Hello there, this is Jedi Master Daniel 96, and in today's video we are going to discuss Star Wars animated shows and their connections to the live action and why you should give these shows a watch and all that. So, a disclaimer I'm going to bring up before we get started. I won't be talking about Star Wars Visions and Young Jedi Adventures because they don't have the connections like the other shows I'm going to be bringing up. Like, Visions is not part of the Star Wars canon, and Young Jedi Adventures is part of the Star Wars canon, but as I mentioned, the connections. So that's that thing there. So let's get to it. So, first, I'm going to talk about the Clone Wars because this is the one, like, everyone's favorite, pretty much by the majority vote. Like, a lot of people love the Clone Wars, and with the Clone Wars, it's set between episodes 2 and 3, between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and you have a movie and 7 seasons to watch the Clone Wars. So the most obvious connection is Ahsoka Tano, who's like the star of this show and the Clone Wars movie as well. So, like, if you want to know more about Ahsoka from seeing her appearances in The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and her own show, you start with the Clone Wars to learn more, like Anakin having a Padawan, I'm sure, with the facts established in, the Ahsoka show with Ahsoka was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. Like, I'm sure people were confused, and then that's why you watch the Clone Wars to get all this information about Ahsoka, and then with the finale you will know why she wasn't in Revenge of the Sith, so you will get that in-universe explanation. So that's a thing there, and then this is like, the last Star Wars project by George Lucas, actually, before he handed it over to Disney, as he worked with Dave Filoni on Clone Wars. So that's a thing there with Clone Wars. And then another, character that's had a key role in live action is Bo-Katan, who's in The Mandalorian, in the Clone Wars. And I know I will jump ahead that she also appeared in Rebels, so I'm sorry if I jump ahead about certain characters that appeared in other shows. So I just wanted to kind of get all the connections to kind of bear with me on that. So that's that with Bo-Katan, appearing in Clone Wars and Rebels, so you will get some background on that. And then another Mandalorian thing you will have is Saber, which, has been a prominent role in The Mandalorian and centric Book of Boba Fett episodes, so that's that. And then in Rebels, you will learn more about the backstory of the dark stuff with that in Rebels as well, with the Darksaber. And then Clone Wars is where that's that, and there are Mandalorian-centric episodes, so if you want more Mandalorian content, definitely watch Clone Wars and Rebels for that. So just wanted to bring that up. And then, Saga in Rogue One and Andor first appeared in the Clone Wars, and then he has made appearances in the Bad Rebels. So that's that with, Saw Gerrera. So he's a key player that's appeared in Star Wars content. And then another one is Cad Bane, who is the bounty hunter from the Duros bounty hunter, who, appeared in the Book of Boba Fett, originated in the Clone Wars, and then made an appearance in Bad Batch. So that's a thing there with Cad Bane, making his way into other shows. And then you've had the survival of Darth Maul. You know why he's alive at the events of Solo, and then when you watch Rebels, you will get why he's alive between 3 and 4 with the events of where Solo takes place, as the Clone Wars is set, between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So you will get Darth Maul during the Clone Wars era. So pretty much, watch the Clone Wars for how he survives, and then watch Rebels for when he dies at the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that's a thing there. And then you have the Night Sisters, who were in the Ahsoka show. So there are some episodes, with the Night Sisters in the Clone Wars. So definitely another reason why to watch Clone Wars for that, knowing more about the Night Sisters from Clone Wars that appeared in Ahsoka, so that's a thing there. Then you have Hu Yang, who's the droid from Ahsoka, and first appeared in Clone Wars, so you will get that as well. So that's another connection. You have the Pikes, who appeared in Solo in the Book of Boba Fett, so you will learn more about the Pikes while watching Clone Wars as well. So those are some, connections that the Clone Wars has had to, the live action stuff, like movies and the live action shows. So that's that with, Clone Wars. And then The Bad Batch is pretty much like a sequel to the Clone Wars, like a direct sequel, but more of like a standalone, as it's about a certain clone group, Clone Force 99, who first appeared in the Clone Wars. So that's that. But you do have, as I did mention earlier on about Cad Bane and Saw Gerrera appearing in Bad Batch. And then, you will have Fennec Shand, who first appeared in Mandalorian, which is live action, but also was in animation. So that's that. So she is in Bad Batch. So, I mean, not too much connections, like I mentioned with Clone Wars, and then once I get to Rebels and all that. So that's that. And then you do have some backstory with Hera as a child in Bad Batch as well. And then in the premiere episode, you do see Kanan as a Padawan when he's Caleb Doom. So you have that in Bad Batch as well. So that's that. And then even backtrack into Clone Wars, you do have Hera's father, Cham Syndulla. So just wanted to bring those connections that I glossed over for Clone Wars. And then the Rebels connections I'm going to get into. So with that, I've pretty much got Clone Wars and Bad Batch covered. So we are on to Rebels. So with Rebels, this is like the animated show that replaced the Clone Wars when Disney bought it. Like, this was kind of like the first of the Disney lineup when we were getting like the movies and all that kind of stuff at the time, as the Rebels premiered a year before The Force Awakens came out. So that's that there. And Rebels is a total of 4 seasons. So you have like 4 seasons to watch of Rebels. And a little backtrack to Bad Batch, there's 2 seasons currently and a 3rd season on the way, which will be the 3rd and final season of Bad Batch. So I just wanted to bring that up once I was talking about Bad Batch, but now on to Rebels. So with Rebels is pretty much, you knew Ezra from the Ahsoka show. He's the lead character of this show. And Ahsoka does make some appearances in Rebels, and then I did mention about Bo-Katan and Saw Gerrera and Darth Maul for Rebels as well when I was talking about Clone Wars, so that's that. And then you have, Hera. This is where she made her first appearance, and I did mention the backstory stuff earlier on. And then, you have Sabine, who was in the Ahsoka show, and then the droid Chopper. And then you have Jason Syndulla's father, which is Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb Doom. So you do learn more about him in this show as well. And Jason Syndulla first appeared in the epilogue of Rebels. So that's that there. Then, you have the purple alien species, the Lasat, Zeb, who had a cameo in The Mandalorian Season 3, so he's the other member of the Ghost Crew, but we didn't see him in Ahsoka. Maybe, we'll see him more in live action in Mandalorian Season 4, or a hypothetical Ahsoka Season 2, but I digress. But yeah, that's Zeb, the purple alien, who is supposed to be inspired by original concept designs for Chewbacca. So in Rebels is pretty much like a Ralph McQuarrie concept art come to life sort of thing. Is another good way to describe it. It's also the perfect found family story. And then with, Rebels, there's, another connection to the live action, the Inquisitors from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. If you've only seen the live action and want to know more about the Inquisitors, watch Rebels, because you will learn the fate of the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels Season 1. and the fate of the fifth brother in season 2. So that's kind of another reason why to watch Rebels. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you do learn about the Darksaber's backstory when I was talking about Clone Wars and all that. But you don't learn about the purge of Mandalore that they've established in The Mandalorian and all that. So, I mean, that's kind of new information by that show. So, just kind of wanted to bring that up. And then obviously the ending of Rebels pretty much sets up the main plot point of the Ahsoka show, which is the search for Ezra and Thrawn, and then also Grand Admiral Thrawn is the villain in season 3 and 4 with Rebels. So that's that. If you want to know more about Thrawn, definitely watch Rebels as well. So that's pretty much covered on the Rebels spectrum. So, moving on to Resistance, which is a show set during the sequel trilogy era, but not too many connections to the live action like the other shows I've brought up, but even less than what I've mentioned with Bad Batch. So, with Resistance, Kazuda Xiono is the main character. He is the son of Senator Xiono from Ahsoka, so that's the connection with Resistance, and then you even see the perspective of him from the events of like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, because this, came out a year before The Rise of Skywalker came out, season 1, like even a year after The Last Jedi came out prior, so that's that, and then there's 2 seasons with Resistance, and so, I mean, it did deserve better. Like, I kind of wish we got more of this show. Maybe we'll see something in the future, but who knows? So, with Resistance, as I mentioned, I mean, Poe Dameron even makes an appearance in Resistance as well, voiced by Oscar Isaac, which is pretty cool. Then there's even a Kylo Ren cameo in that, and the lead character, Kaz. His planet, Hosnian Prime, which is where he's from, is the planet that gets blown up in The Force Awakens. So you do have that connection there. And that's pretty much it with the animated shows of Star Wars. So if you want to check out these animated shows, definitely go ahead. They are some top notch Star Wars storytelling. And yeah, definitely watch the animated shows to learn all these things that I've mentioned. You will learn a lot from watching these shows. So that does it for me in this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think down below. Like, do you agree with all my connections? Like, let me know all of it down below. Was this video helpful for you to know all these connections, to give you a good guide to get into the animated shows? Let me know all that down below. Share this video. Tell your friends to subscribe. Let's get to 600 subscribers. Follow me on Twitter, DanRS87, Instagram, JMD96_YT, Facebook, JediMasterDaniel96, and you can also follow me on BlueSky, JediMasterDaniel96, and have a great day, and may the Force be with you. Bye.